and welcome to my channel. My name is Autumn Embers and today I am building a Fairytale Christmas home as part of a massive collab hosted by Ivory M, which is the Winter Wonderland Collab. So this is my second build for this collab because the very first one that I did was the Christmas winter wedding venue, which was built in Windenburg, which is my favourite place to build in, and it was on a 30 by 30 lot and it was the Von Hill estate. Now, I had a little bit of problem with that lot because I realised it was a generic lot and you couldn't change the flipping lot type, could you? And I had all sorts of problems, but once I got over that problem and figured out what that could be, I then turned my attention to this lot here. And so since I was already building a sort of like commercial type plot, I mean it's not quite commercial, but at the same time it's more commercial than it is residential because you can't really get your Sims to live there. So I thought, okay, for this lot, let's make it a residential lot. Let's make it a really lovely Christmassy home that your Sims can live in and be nice and warm and cozy. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's great, that's a good idea, go me. So I went onto Pinterest as I would normally do when I need a little bit of help, I need a little bit of inspiration, and so I found a picture on Pinterest. I've been seeing this picture quite a lot recently and I really have wanted to build this kind of style before, this kind of build before, but never really got around to it for some bloody reason. But when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's really pretty, and it kind of reminded me of like it being handmade because it looked kind of handmade, and it kind of looked like it was like a handmade paper cutout thingy bob, or it was like an origami thing, or like, you know, when you make like a snowflake chain, it kind of looked like that but house-like. And it looked really pretty, and it just reminded me that some people like to have like a handmade Christmas. And with that idea in mind, I thought, right, this is gonna be my inspiration for this build, for this collab, and I wanted it to be like extra special and extra Christmassy and extra, oh, that looks good, don't it? So I thought, okay, what could I do to make it really pretty looking? And so I thought, I know, I could raise up in the sky and use those base game lights, which are actually ceiling lights, which look like clouds, and make it look like the build is up in the clouds somewhere. And so I covered the build in these base game cloud lights. Then I came across another problem that since they are actually ceiling lights, they have prongs coming out of them so they can attach themselves to the ceiling. And so I was like, oh no, what do I do now? If I just leave it as it is, these prongs will just get in the way and the Sims perhaps won't be able to use this house. That's a bit annoying because it actually looks really good. So what I came up with, I used the Island Living rock. Now I love to use this rock. I've used this rock before in this similar style. And I basically used that rock to cover up the prongs, and this rock is absolutely brilliant because it has a flat surface, which is brilliant because you can just pop it underneath your house, and since it is a debug item, I think it doesn't get in the way of your Sims. Your Sims will just walk right through it, and it doesn't really matter if it's popping through slightly, which this one isn't because it's just sitting underneath. It's absolutely fine. So I'm really happy with the way it looks. If I can find a picture of the picture that I found on Pinterest, I will pop it up for you, but I don't know if I'll be able to because the picture that I found it on my phone. Now I've got two different Pinterest accounts. I've got one on my phone and one on my laptop. I can't remember either password, and so I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but if I can, I'll pop it up on screen now. I'll probably do like a little ping so you can see it. And yeah, I really love the way it came out. The Christmas tree first. So I didn't know what to do with the garden since it was up in the air. I thought just like a normal garden with like a barbecue and a pool would look a bit weird, and so I just decided to make the garden into a Christmas tree forest. Now, as I was pushing down the Christmas trees and making it into like a little wooded forest area or like a woodland area, it reminded me of the snowman. Is it called the snowman? We're walking in the air without any underwear. That one, without the underwear bit. Well, I think everyone just puts that on because it's funny. But it reminded me of that little. I think it's like a little short film that always appears on Christmas Day. Is it a DVD? Do people have that on DVD? I don't know. But it always appears on Christmas Day or around about the Christmas period or holiday season or whatever you like to call this period of Christmassiness. But it always appears, and it just kind of reminded me of basically that, because it reminded me of that scene where the snowman meets up with his other snowmen pals and snow women, and they have a lovely dance party. You have to go through like a forest, like a pine forest, and as I was building this house, that's what it kind of reminded me of. Like, oh, kind of reminds me of that. And since this is a autumn embers build, I have noticed I do put down a lot of water features. I don't think I've ever made a house, if it's like a house that I've seen on Pinterest and I've like just using my imagination to make up the rest of it, I normally put down some sort of water feature. If it's like a water fountain or like a waterfall, a water feature is there just somewhere. But if it's a house that I'm sort of trying to replicate, like for example like a haunted mansion or like a figurine, then I will try to make it as close as I possibly can. But if it's just from my imagination, then I've noticed, I like to put down a water feature. And since this is all like coming out of my own head as well as being inspired by the Pinterest picture, there is a waterfall. I do have a little bit of a problem trying to figure out, is it going to be surrounded by crystals? Is it going to be surrounded by rocks that's covered in snow? Now, I don't have what's it called, Snow Escape. I don't have Snow Escape, and as I was watching the other videos from the other creators that are part of this massive collab, I've noticed that the rocks from Snow Escape, they already come with snow. Since I don't have that, I was kind of bargaining on that when I do change this into like a Snow Escape, that the rocks will just have snow on them. They won't be too covered by the house themselves and be covered in snow. So I do cover the waterfall with rocks, and I think I kept a couple of crystals around it, because for me, crystals and fairy tales and magic, it all just makes, total sense to me. So as I was building this, I was really happy with it. I was going, oh, this looks so pretty. Mm-hmm. And I do sort of put Christmas decorations all over it to make it really Christmassy. And as I was doing, I was like, oh, this is so pretty, but how on earth are the Sims meant to get inside of this house in the sky surrounded by clouds and a waterfall? How I shot myself in the foot once again? And because I really don't want to put stairs down, because this place is 2 stories high up in the sky. That means the stairs are gonna be flipping long, and I didn't want that. I didn't want everyone looking out the stairs and just thinking to themselves, wow, that's really out of place, but wow, that's long as well. So it was like, I don't want stairs, so how else are the Sims meant to get into this house? And then thought to myself, well, you can just, shift click onto the area where you want your Sims to be teleported, and it'll be all fine. But sometimes that can get on your nerves a little bit, especially when your Sims are dying and their needs are incredibly low, and so you just, list the amount of things they need to do. You go and have a shower, you go and get something to eat, you go to bed, you play PlayStation, and you set down like a list of things, and then you realise they can't do any of that because you need to shift click first into the building so they can be teleported in there. So I thought, no, that's the pain in the arse way to do things, that's just not fair. So what do? Then I remembered in Realm of Magic we have those magical portals, don't we? So I went to type in show hidden objects, bb.show live edit objects, because I cannot remember which one they're in. So I thought, no, let's just type both of them in and I will just find them somewhere. So I went into the Realm of Magic category and I found them. Now it was a little bit overwhelming, so because there's like many of them and they all look the same, and basically you just need to find Mystical Portal 1 exit, Mystical Portal 1 entrance. You just need to find your group and stick them together. And so that's what I did. Magical Portal 1 is just out the very front of the waterfall, and then Mystical Portal 1 exit is just by the rounded bit of the balcony. It does stick through just that little ickle bit. That's alright though, because it's a pretty, you know. I don't think it was too major, because there is a lot going on, and if you're not looking for it, I don't think you'll particularly see it. Although I did notice that if you change your mind and you go, oh, I don't like it there, and you want to move it, the mystical portal bit in the middle doesn't come with the frame, so you gotta delete that and find it again, put it back down. And I absolutely adore, because I've been building a lot of Christmas builds at the moment. I've got 2 more builds coming out. Hopefully I can get them out before Christmas. Otherwise I might have to post them in that void area where we, nothing happens. It's in between Christmas Day and in between New Year's Eve. Like, what do you do? So I might have to post them in the void. But I love the seasoned decoration box, because if you're making lots of Christmas builds, they are absolutely brilliant, because you can now stick Christmas decorations in places that you wouldn't necessarily be able to, especially if you haven't downloaded the Twisted Mechs mod. I think that's the tool mod. Because I know the tool mod can do similar thing to the decoration box. But if you haven't got that, the decoration box is absolutely brilliant, because it can make your build really Christmassy or really spooky looking, because you can put down Halloween stuff like that. So I love the season's decoration box, because it's just another little handy way to decorate your builds and make them more spooky or Christmassy in my case. So just covering up the waterfall here. Some of the looks are snowy, because they are just they're just poking out from underneath the builds, and they are snowy. And I know for a lot of people, Christmas is cancelled. It's not going to be the same as it would be. But because of that, it has started to make me think about what was Christmas for me as I was a child when I was a kid, because it is slightly different now. I'm slightly older, and I remember when me and my sister were growing up, when we were sleeping, there was a bag of prezzies at the end of our bed. So when we would go to bed, there would be nothing, and then somehow during the night, Father Christmas would have come and put some prezzies at the end of our bed. And I remember waking up during the night and just feeling the Christmas bag with these presents. I go, oh, he's been, oh my god, I can't believe he's been in the same room as me. And being so excited. And then the next morning we would run downstairs, me and my sister would run downstairs, grab our Christmas stockings, which are now on the floor because they are so heavy and full of stuff. We would then grab them, rush upstairs with our Christmas bags full of presents. When I mean full of presents, I just mean 1 or 2 that were underneath the Christmas tree, but now we moved into the Christmas bag. And we would grab our Christmas stocking and we would drag them upstairs right into our mum and dad's bedroom, and we would wake them up, go, Merry Christmas! Father Christmas been here, look what he's giving me, we've got such a big Christmas stocking! And we would open up our Christmas stocking in front of our mum and dad, because the stuff in the Christmas stocking used to be all individually wrapped in Christmas paper, and me and my sister would just sit on the end of our mum and dad's bed and just unwrap them and go, oh, we got a Satsuma, we got a chocolate lollipop in the shape of a Rudolph or Santa Claus. and we would unwrap them, and we would also unwrap the few Christmas presents that we got in our Christmassy bags that were left at the end of the bed. And then we would go downstairs and huddle around the Christmas tree, which was weirdly put at the just in front of the radiator, which was so strange, because if you haven't done that, heat cools off your Christmas tree, and our Christmas tree would always look half dead because it would have been brown because of the radiator. But we would huddle around the Christmas tree, and normally we wouldn't have like a normal breakfast like cereal or like a fry up. We would have shortbread for breakfast. Now, when I was growing up, I hated shortbread. I didn't like it. I thought it was icky. I also didn't like bacon or Nutella or Lindt, you know, the round chocolate that kind of looks like a snitch from Harry Potter, the golden snitch from Harry Potter. Yeah, I was a weird kid. I didn't like a lot of things when I was little. And I also used to sleep in boxes when I was little. I don't know why. I was so excited that I remember being so excited when a box came in, so like a delivery came in, and I used to be so excited seeing if the box was big enough for me to sleep in. Now, I had a bunk bed. I used to share my bedroom with my sister, and we had a bunk bed. But for some reason, I was like, when a box came, I was like, I want to sleep in it. And I also remember asking my parents if it would be okay if I would sleep in the box. And they would say, yeah, you can sleep in it. But they must have been thinking, what a weirdo. We made her such a bloody weirdo. Why is she sleeping in the box, little weirdo? But they let me sleep in the box. They gave me like a little blanket or like a sleeping case with a pillow. And I slept in a box which was placed right by my bunk bed. I used to sleep in the bottom bunk, so it's right beside my bed. But yeah, I used to sleep in the box. I didn't really like bacon or Nutella or shortbread. But for this year, I want to break tradition for some reason, because I want to, I would like to have waffles and Nutella with berries for breakfast this year. I don't know why. I just fancy waffles for breakfast for Christmas Day. I don't know why. But we would also, when my sister and I were growing up for Christmas, we would also, because my mum and I didn't really like Christmas pudding because it's disgusting, we used to get like a chocolate Christmas log. But nowadays we don't really do that for some reason. I don't know why, because we still don't like Christmas pudding. It's disgusting, love. It smells like Christmas, and you can set a light and it goes all glowy and blue. But that's about it, because it's, you know, I don't know why people eat it. It's disgusting. But we would always buy a chocolate log because me and my mum didn't like it. And despite, you know, not liking it, you gotta buy one, you know. You gotta buy a Christmas pudding. It may be disgusting, but it does smell of Christmas. And I also noticed today, every year, every December, whenever December, you know, comes around, we go nutty over mince pies, you know, 2 boxes every week or so, because that's how many mince pies we get through. But for this year, none of us in our house, especially my dad is a like monster for mince pies. We haven't had mince pies once this year in December. Why has that been? I don't know. But for some reason, we have not bought 1 box of mince pies. And yeah, and also when I was growing up, I hated mince pies. Although some people would give me a mince pie, and I was like, why are you giving this to me? I'll eat it, but I don't like it. And I only started to like mince pies like a couple of years back, when my family went to the Old Vic, which is a theatre up in London, and we went to see the Christmas Carol. And we went to see the Christmas Carol because for my family and my mum, the Christmas Carol is their number 1 movie. I know for some people it's Home Alone. My family has never seen Home Alone before. I know it's such a shocker, but we've never seen Home Alone before because we are a Christmas Carol family. We go and watch Christmas Carol. We watch Scrooge, Bing Grumpy and everything. and we went to see the Christmas Carol at the Old Vic, and as soon as you entered the theatre, you were just hit with the smell of Christmas, because there was a smell of mulled wine, there was a smell of satsumas and mince pies, and they were giving away free satsumas and mince pies. I mean, since they're just giving away free mince pies, I may not like them, but I'm grabbing one of them. And I had a try. It was actually alright. I actually quite like it. It was not that bad. And so I had a couple of mince pies. I didn't have any mulled wine because I don't drink. And my mum didn't have any mulled wine because she hates it. She thinks it's disgusting and sickly. I've never seen my dad drink mulled wine before, but I don't think he had any. But my mum definitely stockpiled on the satsumas because my mum loves satsumas and they were free, so why not? Let's stockpile them in your pocket so you can have a cheeky snack on the way home on the train. Let's grab those mince pies, they're free, so why not? So you can have some at home for like a lunch tomorrow, I don't know. But yeah, my mum was just grabbing these mince pies and satsumas because they were free, which is the word to look out for. And she was just, stuffing them in her bag because they were free. I don't know how the cost was covered with that, but okay, that was their business. But yeah, we got like the cheap seat, so we're like really high up, and I was sitting in the seat. It kind of felt like I was sitting in the middle of the theatre, I was smack bang in the middle, and I've never sat down in the middle of a theatre, and I didn't like it. It felt like really exposing that I was sitting right in the middle, and I didn't like it. But as soon as the production started, I was fine. I ate my mince pie. I ate one of the many satsumas my mum just shoved in my pocket. Yeah, I had a really great time. But we haven't been there since. I think we went there in 2018, but I haven't been there since. Me and my family really want to go. Once everything that's happened this year, once it's safe to do so, it's all cleared up, we'd love to go there again because, yeah, that was so Christmassy. I wasn't in the Christmassy mood when I went there. When I left, I was like, Christmas, here I come, bring it on. But yeah, I love that. But let's go back to the build. This is the main bedroom for this build. It is a 2-bedroom home with 1 bathroom. The stairs in this place was a right pain in the butt to place. Like the winter wedding venue, they were a pain to place. And they were pain to place here as well. So I had a right old problem with stairs for this collab. But I managed to get them in. It's alright. It's all fine. They're all working. And I also had a right old pain in trying to take a screenshot for the kids' bedroom. Because it is so high up in the sky. It's 2 stories high up in the sky. And my camera, when taking the screenshot, it was just bouncing around like there's no tomorrow. It was right nightmare. Also, the kids' bedroom, it is an unusual shape. It's got like a weird dangly bit hanging off one end. And it is kind of pokey in a way. But I thought that was alright. Kids' bedrooms can be kind of awkward shaped and a little bit pokey. We got everything we need. It's still spacious, kind of, in a pokey way. And yeah, but it was a real pain in the butt to take a screenshot of. It was really annoying. I got there in the end. It was a right pain in the butt. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys here because I don't really have any more to say. But apart from, go and check out the other people in this collab. Go and check out their builds. We all worked really hard on them. I will put up the poster at the end of the screenshots of this video, so not long now. And yeah, I will hopefully see you again soon. And if I don't get that other video out, I would like to say have a very happy Christmas and a very happy, safe Christmas, So please like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of your day. Merry Christmas!